A couple weeks ago, I received these wood blocks I bought, and I noticed they had knots and that the wood grain was way more noticeable than the other blocks that I already own, which I really liked. I wanted to use them to create a sculpture that could showcase the character and specific quality that the wood has, and I knew exactly what piece could do that, which is something new, to be honest, because it used to take me quite some time to figure out my next carving. But last month I started a sketchbook with my sculpture ideas, so I don't spend days and days thinking about a new piece without starting. It's like an idea brain dump notebook. I have sketches, phrases, doodles, complete ideas, and half ideas. Anytime I think of something I envision as a sculpture, I just put it on paper so I don't forget about it. And it's been great. It takes away the pressure I felt when I wanted to carve a new piece but I had no idea what to do. Because when that happened, I would feel stuck and I would hurry myself up to come up with an idea as fast as I could, which usually is the worst scenario for my creativity to flow, and I would end up stress thinking for way too long. I'm happy I have it now, and I wish I'd started it long time ago. But anyways, one of those ideas I had was this hand. I imagined it holding, or for a better term, hanging, from the edge of the rest of the wood block. For some reason, the idea of that hand trying to grab the edge seemed very interesting to me. And by doing it, I would have the perfect excuse to focus on a hand study, concentrating solely on the hand and the forearm, which I've never done before. I mean, I've done hands before as part of sculptures, but never as the subject matter of a piece. Last year, when I did the sculpture that had the hand resting on the table, I remember making a mental note as I was carving the hand to try and work on a bigger piece so I could get into more details. For this carving, I asked Nicolas to help me out with some photos of the hand pose I wanted. I'm definitely not one to work from imagination, so I usually make a collage with lots of the photos I take, and I have them on my iPad as I'm working, so I can always see how the piece needs to rotate and how it looks from every angle. This time I also took some measurements, so I wouldn't lose the proportion too much, and they turned out to be super useful. I always try to use both, any photo and any measurement as a guide, but just a guide. I mean, I really need them, because I don't have a lot of knowledge about anatomy, and I don't feel that comfortable working solely from my imagination, so I always want to have that visual anchor, but I also need to feel that I have wiggle room as I work. Sometimes the numbers and the photos are showing me something, but I just feel like the piece is needing to go elsewhere, so I just take it in the direction I feel like it needs to go. For this sculpture, for example, the photos I took had all the fingers laying flush in the wood, and when I posed Nicolas' hand and took those pictures, I felt the hand looked perfect. But once I started carving and seeing it all together, they just felt a bit flat. When I was looking at the carving from the back, they did not read as fingers. They looked like spheres sticking out of the wood block. They had no motion whatsoever. I needed to alter them so they could communicate as fingers reaching to grab the edge of that wood, because flat fingers were not helping the piece. By letting the reference be a guide but not a rule, I'm able to emphasize the moments in the sculptures where I feel drawn to. So every piece can speak about whatever subject matter I'm wanting to sculpt, but they're also talking about me as an artist, because they're modified by the lens of my own sensibility, which is something I've identified in my own work as a non-negotiable. I don't know how to explain this, but I need to feel that I am creating the piece, not just following a guideline. Because if you tell me that I get to hit every single twist and turn in my reference, every angle, every millimeter, but I need to ignore my own instincts on changing the things I feel drawn to, I wouldn't want to sculpt. Even if the piece could be 100 times more accurate, the idea of carving wouldn't excite me as it does now, because I love to feel like I'm creating my own path as I work. That I'm problem solving, and that even if I struggle with the pieces I'm making, which I do a lot, the things that matter to me the most, things that I like and how my brain works, can be showcased in the resulting sculpture. In this piece and in my own practice, I would choose sensibility over accuracy every single time. That's just the way that I enjoy creating.